Hello, good day viewers. Welcome back to this video once again. After watching this video to the end, nobody will tell you to be serious with the All Eyes on the Judiciary campaign. This campaign is so serious because the past judgments by the Nigerian judiciary at all levels, even ranging from the Federal High Court, State High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, there are so many judgments that doesn't make sense. And that is why we are telling the judiciary that all eyes are on them, not to threaten them, but to make them to believe that people are really watching them, that they should uphold the Constitution and maintain their integrity. Before we go further in this video, listen to Dr. Ondise.
I've lost a bit of confidence in what the courts have been doing lately. I mean, there was a time you could say, oh, on the facts and the law, this is the likely outcome. Today you cannot, because there have been all kinds of silly decisions. The most silly was that concerning the President of the Senate, who, in order to become Nigerian president, rushed off to buy a ticket to be a presidential candidate of the APC, and that meant he did not take part in the senatorials. Lo and behold, he lost. He now ran back after the horse had bolted, clearly to anybody who has any brain, including the justices of the Supreme Court, I might add, and they said no, that the man actually should be the senatorial candidate. That is the most ridiculous decision I've ever heard that the Supreme Court had delivered. So that's why it's difficult. Of course, I don't want to talk about the case of Imo State, where everything was turned upside down. So I don't have the sort of confidence that I used to have in the judiciary. And I've not been surprised if this thing goes one way or the other. I cannot forecast the outcome. I have the legal tools and the factual issues. So if I put it into my computer, I know what answer it will give me. But I'm not part of the panel. So I don't know whether the justices will see it the way I'm seeing it. But I can tell you, from my own perspective as a lawyer of 45 years at the bar, that the answers are glaringly obvious. But as Oliver Wendell Holmes said in the Raleigh School of Jurisprudence, it is the prophecy of what the court does in fact, and nothing more pretentious, that is the law. So if you ask me, what will be the outcome of the petition? First of all, I cannot say because it's sub judice. But second of all, I cannot even say because the Supreme Court itself is unpredictable.
Yes, the Supreme Court is unpredictable. But that is the reason why you see that there is a different campaign about the integrity of judiciary since this court case started in Nigeria. Yes, we mean it. All eyes on the judiciary. Now, I want us to talk about these two hilarious cases that the Supreme Court judged in Nigeria. Time to come, people will not forget this. And I believe students of law will be studying the judgment in school. They will try to find out what really transpired, what happened. How come somebody who bought form to run for the office of the president fails primary election? He ran back to purchase the senatorial primary election when they have concluded the primary election of the APC. Now, the youth, 34 years old boy that won the senatorial ticket, he now came, he uses the judiciary to intimidate the guy because he is the Senate president. Now, the case gets to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court say no, that they should allow the former Senate president, Ahmed Lawan, to become the flag bearer of the APC senatorial primary. This is insane. This is a silly decision. Such decision is the reason why people are clamoring all eyes on the judiciary. All eyes on the judiciary. You see what the senior advocate of Nigeria, Dr. Ondise, said. He has practiced law for 45 years in Nigeria. I did not say 45 months or 45 days. I mean 45 years. So such a man that has that experience is speaking with you that he don't trust Nigerian judiciary. Especially, he highlighted the two occasions or the two judgments that made him not to have the integrity on the Nigerian judiciary. He made mention of this case I just explained about the former Senate president that did not participate for election, the primary election, but today now he is the senator representing his people. This is insane. This is what we are fighting against. The institutions is not working. Let me remind you about what happened in Imo State. That was about 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. They called Hope Uzodinma up to today's Supreme Court governor. Yes, because the people did not voted for him. They did not vote for him. But the case gets to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court just overturned everything. Somebody who came out fourth. The fourth person now became the governor of the state. So if they voted for him that he came out fourth, he later became governor, that is a different issue. But on this issue, it's so serious that I don't really know what to say. But this time around, all eyes is on the judiciary. And I think judiciary is not going to mess up. And Nigerians will not tolerate it. Obedience are not going to tolerate it. And if the judiciary mess up, I think Nigerians are already losing patience. So I do not even blink my eye to say the judiciary will not do the right thing. I believe with my heart that these people are going to maintain their integrity for once, because there are so many eyes that on them. The whole world is watching them. People are watching them. People are seeing things that they are doing. People are following the process. People saw the evidence that was brought before the court. People knew what transpired on the election day. People knew what happened on the IREV, what they call the technical glitch that did not happen. So these are the issues we are talking about, that all eyes should be on the judiciary.
So it doesn't matter how low the confidence it is in the judiciary. The law is the law. And what's even, look, there's a confidence we have in them, and there's a confidence we have in ourselves and in our case. These are two different things. The confidence we have in ourselves and in our case is that elections, so to say, were not held. Because from the polling units, the Electoral Act 2002 as amended provided the direct transmission of results. It is that direct transmission of results that says elections were held. They were not transmitted. What results are you giving? If there are no results, what election are you talking about? Now, going to the registration areas or ward collection units, no INEC returning officer, he or she, shall make entries without making reference to the existing ongoing concurrent IREV, active IREV, which did not exist. How did they collate? If there was no valid collation, what results are you talking about?
Yes, illegality has been performed. And that is why we continue to say that all eyes are on the judiciary. Now it is the turn of the judiciary to prove to Nigerians whether they want Nigeria to continue to exist or not. Because we are expecting that our constitution should be upheld. There is nothing like rule of law in every country. If any country wants to thrive, want to become prosperous, want to drive people to come and invest in the country, they must obey the rule of law. The first thing people see when they want to come into the country, when they want to do things, they will first of all study. Do they have a working law? What about if something transpired? Should I trust the judiciary that I can get justice? If the justice system is not working, people coming into the country will not be safe. Just as Nigerians are traveling all over the world in diaspora, countries that doesn't have a good judicial system, Nigerians will be suffering there, because even though when they seek for justice, they will not have justice. But countries, especially in parts of the Europe, where if you do anything wrong against a foreigner, they could get justice. So this is the image we want Nigerian judiciary to build upon Nigeria, so that people outside the country could say, oh, Nigerian judiciary, they are the one that sacked the president because of illegality. We trust them. This is the image we want to see from the judiciary. Thank you so much for having time to listen to this video. I am Okocha Marcel. Kindly share this video, subscribe to our channel, and above all, always come by for daily updates. Thank you.